Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. This is my first car that I'm selling for 2017. I've had a cold, which you can hear, and it's just been a health-wise just a horrible month, and so I'm a little behind the ball here, and it hasn't helped here in Oregon. It's been raining and it's been cold, and we've had weird snows and stuff lately, so it's been nice today to get out and do videos and take pictures. So this is going to be the first car we're selling on BAT, and actually the first car for 2017 in general. So we're going to offer it here on BAT. I got this car, I have another video of it when I first got it. I got it out of Seattle. It was actually another BAT enthusiast had offered it to me, and he bought it 2 years ago out of California. And it was just there was a lot of little things to do to it mechanically, and he hadn't actually ran it in the last year and a half. So I went ahead and bought it and brought it down here and did a lot of work to it, so it could get up running and driving again. So we'll go ahead and do a walk around here, and I'm pretty excited about the car. We'll just start here from the back. Like I said, it was out of California 2 years ago, so the car is real dry. It's not rusty. It looks like it was painted a number of years ago, and but it's got some chips, it's got some little scratches, different things going on. But overall, I mean, it's a beautiful car. We'll just walk around here in the back. You can see the chrome on the bumper. It's original chrome, but you can see it's kind of crazed and stuff. You can see it on the tail lights here as well. I love the fins. I think these are actually probably some of the biggest fins out of the big three. Here you can see some little chips that have been touched up. The Plymouth emblem's nice, but it has some little pitting in it. I like the spare tire on the back there. I don't know if they actually all had that. Obviously there's not a spare tire underneath there. It's more of a cosmetic. I like the way the tail lights are. They're beautiful. Right here's where your gas is. It's got collector plates on it from Washington. If you look down the sides, it's actually real nice. I love the way those wings are, and I'll probably say that many times. I like the big badge on the side. The stainless on this car is amazing. I mean, look how big that is. You don't even really realize how much stainless this car has until you see it in person. I know we can show it in the video. I love how the stainless comes right up here through the back. Sometimes on these cars, you'll see them two-toned, so you'll see the body. Like sometimes this will be white and this up here will be red. This car's obviously all white. I love the front emblem in gold. A little water right here. We've been driving out in the rain. You can see some little chips right here. It's got big white walls all the way around. And actually the spare tire has white wall too. I like the fender mounted mirrors. And you can see they have some little crazing and stuff going on. All the windows roll up and down. The glass is good. You can see a little dent, real small little indention right here. I like the little covers over the windows. That was something they put on back in the day. And look at the window frames, all stainless, even around the whole front windshield. I mean, very, very cool. You'll see different little flaws, in the paint, a couple little chips. Just some minor stuff. I'd say the paint was probably a 8.5 out of 10. I mean, it's white. You'll see a little bit of orange peel in different places, but most people wouldn't really notice it, but I notice little things, and but it doesn't bother me. It's just the way it is. But the body works real nice on it. I love the grille. It's just beautiful. I like the gold accents too, like on the center emblem. It did have fog lamps at one point up here in the front. Here you can see just a little water. But the bumper still has, some little crazing, little pitting, because it's original. Here, if you look down the side, very straight. You look down this side again, You know, it's just pretty. Walk around here to the other side of the car. You know, again, you can see that stainless goes all the way out the back. I mean, it's very cool. You know, there's no rust bubbles or anything in the bottom of the doors. You can see some little chips right here that have been touched up. And I actually didn't touch up any of these. That's actually just water there. It's just the way I got it. You know, this car's rust free. You know, again, we can look down the side. You know, it's just very pretty. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the interior of the car, and we'll show you underneath the hood here in a minute. Welcome back. Here we are out cruising the 60 Fury. This car drives so nice. It's really in amazing shape, and I just love the style about it. I love the interior and the exterior, which I already showed you, but it's just a cruising machine. It's very, very unique. If you look at the steering wheel, it's kind of square, and that's just the way they made them. I think only 60 did that, maybe 61. Someone's painted this wheel black. They've actually made some repairs. It probably had a lot of cracks, but originally this wheel would have had, it would have been clear actually, with kind of flecks of metallic glitter in it, which was really cool. That would have been really stylish. And I like the way the horn button is. You can hear the horn working. It doesn't work on this side, works only on that side. I love how they mounted the dash pod up on top of the dash. I love how the mirror sits. You know, instead of hanging from here, it's hanging from there, sticking up. So it's just a nice driving car. You can see when we started it, it's a push button transmission. You got reverse, neutral, drive, the 1 and 2, so it's a 3-speed automatic. It's got a power, I mean, it's not a power mirror, but it's got a mirror over here. You can see the mirror on the fender there. That controls that mirror. That one over there is a manual mirror. You got to get out and move it. The radio's not working in it. The heater's on right now. It's actually really cold outside. We've been not able to actually get out and, you know, do videos of cars and take any photos for the last month almost. And so this is our first video again, getting out since 2017. You can see the temp gauge works. It's got a clock, but the clock's not working. Fuel gauge is working. You can see our wipers. They work. The lights work. And then you can also see, this is really cool, the way the speedometer works. It kind of goes across the dash. We'll stop here. And they're kind of little, it's really neat. They're individual little pieces, and so when you start up, that one pops up. Now that one pops up, and then now that one pops up. I thought that was really neat. At first, when I first looked at it, I thought it was just one solid line going across there, but no, they've got little individual things, and that's very cool. There's an amp gauge here and an oil. And those are only going to come on, you know, when that stuff's not working or it's got low oil pressure. You can see the blinker. It's working left and right, and the dash light's working. It obviously you can't see it. And you got your glove box over here. So it's a nice, just cruising machine, and we'll pull over here and you can take a look at the rest of the interior. I did want to note too that, you know, the odometer was working in this car, and it says 76,690. I don't know what the miles are. I think that the miles are real close there, because it wasn't too long ago that was actually working. And so the car's been parked for the last 2 years, but it was working prior to that. And here, the lighter actually works too. See, it's nice and red. So anyway, anyways, if you got a cell phone or something like that, you want to plug it in there, you can. So anyways, we'll pull over here in a minute and show you the interior. Thanks for riding along. Okay, we'll go ahead and take a look at the interior. I'll show you here. Actually, the locks all work on the car. And you'll see, one of the things you'll notice in here, you'll see that it doesn't have a little lock striker here. You actually move this forward and it'll lock it from the inside, but obviously unlock it with the keys. It's got original door panels on it. Very cool looking. I like it's kind of a chrome look. It's kind of worn though. You can see here, see this kind of like a candy cane there. They were actually striped in here. You can see it right around here. They were striped, and but that's worn off. You know, again, you can see the gold. You know, the windows roll up and down. You know, they're in the good shape. You can see the jams. You know, usually people start showing you the seats and everything, but I went ahead and showed you jams first. You know, very clean. You know, not hit. You know, I don't think the seat has ever been recovered in this car. You know, this is original material. You'll see the original stitching, the white stitching there. And in the one video I showed you, when I first got the car, there was a little seam split right here. So we had the cover taken off, and we think it is the original material. We had it taken off and then restitched. It wasn't ripped, it's just the seam came out, but you can see it's very nice. You know, the material's in great shape. I think they repainted the dash. There's some imperfections, you know, when they painted it, but the dash is nice. You know, it's just a steel dash. It's the way they did it back then. Stainless is nice down here. You know, not perfect, but pretty nice. The carpet's older. I don't know if it's the original. I'll show you on the other side. You know, the foot pad is original, but I think the car is pretty low mileage. You know, just the way that interior is. Someone put seat belts in the back. You know, again, this seat is in excellent shape. It's not ripped. You know, very clean. You can take a look at the door panel. You know, this one has a little bit of tape right here, but not bad for original. And these aren't flat door panels either. You can see it's how they kind of stick out there, and that's a neat design. A lot of the door panels in 50s and 60s, they were just kind of flat and, you know, had the design, but these actually go out on the bottom. You can see this jam, very, very clean. The headliner's in great shape. You can see here. The dome light, I don't know if it works yet. I actually haven't, I thought about it when I was out here driving. I haven't seen it turn on before, and but I need to take it apart there and look. So no guarantees that it'll work though, but I think it probably will. You know, here's the, I don't know what that does. Well, that's a door lock. You know, they don't have them on that way on the front. So I guess when you lock the door in the back there, you have to reach back and unlock it. So we'll go ahead and walk around the other side so you can see the other side. Okay, we'll take a look at the driver's side. Oh, I locked it. Not good timing. There we go. You know, it's a nice looking interior on this car. One thing is, if you notice, when I was driving it, the steering wheel wasn't straight. We actually did a lot of bushing work up in the front, and I need to take it down and get it aligned, so that will be straight. You can see here where we did the seat repair, just repaired the seam. It's interesting, these cars too, they actually had a higher back on the driver's side, and you would think they would have done something on both, but that's just the design that they made. So it's pretty cool, very unique. There's that square steering wheel. The parking brake is interesting too. You push it down and then you pull and then press down. You know, a lot of times you just pull it out and then it comes out, but you actually push it down, pull just a little bit, and then press down. Right here's the windshield wiper squirter. It's not hooked up right now. It's kind of interesting too, you know, when you look at cars with not a lot of miles on them, you look at the brake pads, you know, very little wear. And you look at the gas pedal, very little wear on that. You know, those are things that aren't reproduced. You know, it's not like a Mustang or Camaro. You can see it says power brake across there. You can see the heel pad is in great shape too. Little tear right there in the carpet. You can see the original VIN is attached. You know, again, no damage in here. You can see the original spot welds. You know, little spot welds on the doors. Door panels in good shape. End of the doors are nice. New gaskets, looks like. Yeah, you can see the window rolls down good. Tim, will you walk over? I didn't unroll that window so they could see that window over there. We'll go ahead and roll this window down. This one's a little bit more stiff, but it's not bad. Tim's going to show you that window rolling up and down. There you go. You can see the jams this side are very nice too. We'll take pictures of underneath the doors, you know, down here, so you can tell they're not rusted out. I don't know if you can see that in the video. It's very clean. So go ahead and I just wanted to show you the interior. It's a clean car. You can see how nice those doors shut too. You know, this is when they made real nice cars. Fit and finish was nice. So we'll go ahead and show you underneath the hood and the trunk, and we'll continue on. Okay, we'll take a look at the trunk. It's in very nice shape. It's all recarpeted. I actually had all the carpet done in it. The pan was really nice. It has a pour 15 on the pan, but there was no rust on it at all, and it's very clean. I can't take it out because now it's glued down, but believe me, it is nice. You can see the spare tire, Coker Classic. It's brand new. They're not porta walls. They're the actual real white walls. This is the original cardboard. You can see some rips. You can see around the gutters, very clean. One thing I would probably do to this later is probably put a new gasket on here. The doors have new gaskets, but it could use a new gasket here. It's not leaking or anything that I've noticed. You can see the original insulation is still good. Notorious on a lot of classic cars, they'll rust out on these lips, and that's very clean. And but overall, I mean, that's a nice looking trunk. We'll go ahead and show you some other parts of the car. Okay, I wanted to show you the lights working. I know that the reverse lights aren't working. They're not actually hooked up. But we'll go ahead and show you the blinkers and everything, and brake lights. There's your blinker. Got tail lights, brake lights. And even you can see here the light underneath there for the license plates working. You know, it sounds real healthy. It sounds nice. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. It doesn't smoke. It's actually really cold outside right now. You just see the condensation, but you know, it's a good running car. we'll go ahead and show you up front. We're going to show you the lights working now, and we'll see the marker lights. We got blinker on the right. Go to blinker to the left. Turn the headlights on. And then we'll have our bright lights. You know, everything's working in order. So we'll go ahead and show you underneath the hood right now too. There's a little lift right there. Underneath the hood is very nice. That engine's actually a 318. I believe it's the original to the car. But the 318 in that year is huge, because I have another rig that's got a 440 in it, and I measured from the valve covers over to the edge of the valve cover. I mean, it's the same size. You know, it's just a big engine. You know, it's very clean. Nice looking motor. Engine compartment's real nice. You know, not perfect, but you can see here, you know, it doesn't have any damage on the front. You know, you can see the original spot welds and stuff. You can see this hasn't been hit. You can see the double horns up here in the front. You know, again, original spot welds. You know, aprons are very, very clean. It's got power brakes, like I mentioned before. Jiffy Jet windshield wiper. That's actually not working. There's nothing in it. I haven't actually really looked at it. You can see it here. It has power steering. You can see the fuel filter, aftermarket fuel filter on it. And when we got it, it actually wasn't running, and we did some work to it, rebuilt the carburetor, just went through a lot of different things. It's actually a really good running motor, very healthy sounding. It's got dual exhaust on it all the way back. And you can see here, you know, the hood hasn't been hit. You know, you can see original spot welds. You know, it's actually real clean. You know, that's another spot. Stuff gets back behind here and starts rusting. And you know, this car shows that it's lived in California for a long time. You can see a couple little dings on the trim right there. But we'll go ahead and start it up. Let you hear it run. Want to rev it up a little bit. You know, it sounds nice. You know, it's got good power. You know, it's not a muscle car or anything like that, but it's a nice cruiser. So you can see here, this is a generator, not an alternator. So very original underneath here. So this is your little heat riser for your choke. It still likes to warm up before you take it out for a cruise. So we'll go ahead and show you some other stuff on the car. Thanks for looking. Okay, here we are. We're going to take a look at the Fury underneath. It's actually a really, really solid car. I was actually pretty surprised when I looked underneath of it. As you know, we've been doing videos underneath, and I think videos 100% tell you a lot about a car underneath, other than still photos. Still photos are good, but a video underneath just gives you a better perspective of what you're looking at. And so we'll go ahead and take a look here and explain different things, you know, different things that we did to it, previous things that other people did. And so one of the first things we did actually is put new torsion arm bushings on. You can see right here. There's two of those. Those were really sloppy, so we replaced those. It's got new ball joints up on the top. We cleaned the A-arms. Then there's an A-arm. You can't see it here real good. There's A-arm bushings up here. And we went ahead and replaced those too because they were moving around a lot. We still have to take it down and get it aligned. I explained that, I think, earlier. I haven't done that yet. The shocks look really good. We actually took them out and cleaned them, but they do work actually real good, so we didn't replace them. Other things that we did too, the brakes were actually done on the car previous to us getting them, but we went ahead and took them apart and noticed that they did some things wrong that they shouldn't have done, and they had the brake shoes on the wrong side. There's actually 2 cylinders, upper and lower. You can see here those were replaced, but if you take the drum off the front, you'll see a little line that feeds the bottom one, down to that one, and they had actually had a splice in between them, which is really dangerous. So we actually took the splice out and put correct lines on it, and but the brake shoes and everything, we swapped them around how they should be, and they're actually in really good shape now. Here you can see that ball joint too is very clean, and you'll notice here too, it's got dual exhaust all the way back, and it actually sounds real nice. They had did some engine work previous to it, and we didn't rebuild the motor or anything like that. It was already painted, and we just touched it up a little bit more so on top. But you can see here, it's just been touched up, but you can see there's old paint they painted over before. But we had the valve covers off, and it actually looks pretty clean inside. And you can see here at one point they put a new oil pan gasket on it, but it doesn't leak oil. It's just been kind of detailed. It looks better above detailed than it does below, but you can see here, this is where the oil filler is, or not the oil filler, the oil filter is. There's a canister style. So we actually changed the oil in it and put a new oil in it as well. And right here's your starter. One of the things we're gonna do also, I noticed the other day that there was a little leak of transmission fluid going on, and I thought it was from the oil pan gasket, but it's actually, this is your shift cable that comes in here, and you see all this gooey stuff all over it. That it's leaking from there. We talked to an old school Mopar transmission shop here in Salem, and we're going to go down to his place tomorrow and pick up and figure out just the ins and outs of replacing the seal in there. And so we talked to him on the phone. We don't like to take stuff apart unless we know actually how to do it. And so anyways, he's got the new seal down there, and we'll talk to him tomorrow, but that will be replaced. And we're going to go ahead and just change the gasket here just to be safe, and then we'll change the fluid in the transmission. So that'll be all, handled and nice. You can see the frame here's in really good condition. Very clean. You can see the inside rockers on the car, very, very clean. You can see the floors are excellent. I mean, this is exactly what you want to see on an old car like this. No replacement floors. These are, you can see a little surface rust, but these floors are really solid. You can see the extensions over here are very clean, not rusty. This is actually a unibody car, and you can see it doesn't have a full frame that goes all the way across. I think it's got a subframe up front, and it's unibody in the back. But you can see this box is really nice. It's, here you can see a little bit of undercoating. That's all that is. Back here underneath the seat is very clean too. You'll look underneath this rocker. Again, no rust. Very clean. You can see the frame rail here. Very clean. It's actually pretty impressive underneath the car. This is the only spot of rust that I actually seen on the car, and this is the trunk drop off. You can see here it got rusty right across the bottom there. The rest looks real solid. It's something I probably wouldn't even mess with because the water drains out of there now, and sometimes the just debris gets back here, and that's a little dust cover, and so that got a little rusty there. But again, it looks, the trunk pan is really nice. I've seen the trunk pan. It's got carpet in it now, but the trunk pan is really good. It had port 15 put on it. You can see here that the back frame rail, again, very, very solid. You can see back here it hasn't been hit. You know, it's no wrinkles. You know, you see a little bit of surface rust, but this is all really solid all the way across. You can see this back frame rail, good condition. You know, very clean. You know, very solid. Now you see this trunk drop-off pan, very, very clean. It's not rusty. You know, so it looks good. You know, like I said, the other side, you could repair it, but I probably actually wouldn't. You know, it's not like this car is going to be sitting outside, and you know, a lot of people probably have it garaged. I was going to show you the rear end. You know, it doesn't leak on the ground, and it probably in the future could use a pinion shaft seal. You know, this is just old, you know, old oil leakage, and a lot of these leak, and but it, you know, it's not dripping on the ground or anything like that. You can also see here that it might have, the part of the culprit here, we tightened this up, but this was, you can see a little fluid coming, you know, a trail coming here, but definitely up here, there's been a little bit of seepage. U-joints all look good. Oh, and the other thing too is we put, it had air shocks on the back. You can see these air shocks. We put new air shocks on it because the springs, you know, the springs get old, and so they lose their spring a little bit. So previous to us getting it, they had air shocks on it, but they weren't working correctly. So we went ahead and put air shocks on it, and the air shocks would be really nice. So if someone had a vintage camping trailer or something like that, you know, an old Can-Am or Airstream trailer, you could put a hitch on it, and then you could put you know, pump these up a little bit so it doesn't sag. So this would be awesome to pull an Airstream trailer with. I was actually into those a few years ago. We had over 40 vintage trailers, you know, old Aloas and Shastas and different stuff. They were really fun, and I still like them. I just haven't messed with one for a while. You can see this frame rail, very clean. You can look at the floor. You know, no rust. This part of the rocker, you can see there's a panel that goes down here and it sandwiches on here. You can see that it did rust just a little bit right there. So again, you could probably grind it out and fix it, but I don't know if I would mess with it too much. You can see the original spot welds going across here on the rocker as well. But that all looks pretty clean. You can see the original spot welds there. But you know, that part there you might want to clean. You never see that in general, just sitting up on the, you know, when the car's, you know, just sitting on the ground. You can see here, the reason these rockers are so good, these are actually drain holes, and they're clean on both sides. So a lot of times cars get debris in there and the rockers get all rusted out. This rocker is really, really nice. You can see the drain here as well. So if you got an old car, I'd get under there and clean those drains out. So let's walk around here. You see the body mount area. It's very solid too. So hopefully that gives you a good look of the structure underneath. I mean, it's clean. You can see that it hasn't been hit. And it's just been a car that's been cared for, you know, all of its life. And so, you know, I think a lot of people get a lot of enjoyment out of this car, you know, for, you know, just different things, cruising with your wife or girlfriend or vice versa. And so, or, you know, pull a vintage trailer or use it for weddings. And, you know, the car's a looker. I love the big wings on it and stuff. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of underneath.